Welcome to this episode of Mainline Connect. My name is Jennifer Lynn Robinson, and my guest today is Ruth Scott of Cupcakes by Ruth. Welcome.
Hi, Jen.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to have you and your cupcakes here. I just know how much fun this whole episode is going to be, and I've been waiting for it all day. So.
Cupcakes are fun.
Yes.
Cupcakes
and you
are
make
fun.
them more fun.
I try.
So I want to start out talking about a little bit of networking. I've gotten to know you over the last couple years, and I know you live in New Jersey.
I do.
But a lot of your business is also here on the Pennsylvania side.
It is.
And, I know as a business owner, something I've struggled with is when I decide where to network, how much time is it going to take me to get there? Is it during rush hour? Does it make sense for me to drive 90 minutes to get to an event that's an hour or an hour and a half? So you start to think about those times a day, geography, money invested,
Right.
time in the car, all of those things. So for you, because your business is over sort of a vast area, and coming over the bridge different times a day, I'm sure is a concern. I'm curious how you manage it. How do you get the best bang for your buck with networking? How do you decide what to go to?
I've not really got it down to a science, but I do have certain criteria. For networking, it depends upon how intimate it's going to be.
Okay.
I like to make sure that I am able to connect with at least 3 to 5 people, but like real connections.
Right.
Not just, hi, how are you? What do you do?
Right.
I don't receive people well that shove business cards at me.
Shocking. Yeah, no, I don't either. Yeah.
And but if I feel like it's an event where I can really connect with people, then it's worth my time.
Okay.
There's a luncheon that we were at not too long ago. I wanted to listen to the speaker. There was something in that for me, and because it was a table seating, that gives me a chance to at least connect with 2 people on either side of me. I always sit with people I don't know.
Okay.
So, and I try not to go to things that have 500 people.
Right.
I like intimate gatherings.
Okay. But I like
So-
that even if you're not at an intimate gathering, you make a point of getting to know the people at your table.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the particular event we were at, we won't name it, but it's a several hundred person event.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people, once you get through the opening networking, they have the way they set up the event and structured, you have open networking,
Right.
and then you sit down. And a lot of people, it seems to me, once you sit down, it's almost like they shut off. Oh, we've sat down, the networking's over, so now it's just time to eat my lunch and listen to the speaker. And I always find that strange.
But I purposely didn't even go to the open networking part of it.
Now, why?
Because it's not worth the time for me. Because it would be a lot of, hi, how are you? What do you do?
Right.
And then knowing that I have to go sit down in a few minutes. So I would rather invest my time and energy with the people on either side of me. And I did, and I made really great connections.
Good. Yeah, it's funny. I feel the exact opposite about those events. Like, I like getting there even earlier than the event starts for the open networking. And then as people come in, I like to meet people, hook up with friends that I haven't seen, and then meet new people.
Yeah.
And then I know when I sit down, there's going to be very few people that I can then interact with. So
Interesting.
it's interesting how different things work for different people.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that's probably a concern for you just because of the geography of your business. You can't always be coming over here, and coming over here during rush hour, I'm sure, is a hassle. Yeah.
It is crazy.
Yeah, and I think, just generally, I think that's something that people should keep in mind with their networking. I think unless something is a really special, maybe one-time event, I think you really have to consider the times of day that are best for you, what makes sense from a geography standpoint, how long it's going to take you to get there.
Right.
Obviously, how much money you're going to spend, all of that needs to be taken into account because there's a ton of networking that you can do. It's not all equal, but I mean, there are things that may not make sense based on your situation.
And my view about networking is perhaps unique, but I really don't go looking to make a sale.
Right.
That is never my intention. My intention is to connect with people, is to get to know people, share what I do. But if I walk out and somebody says, I really have a party tomorrow and can you deliver, then that's a bonus. It happens once or twice. But my goal is never to walk in with a sale. I have a product, but that's not why I'm there.
Right.
So,
I think a lot of people don't get that. So I think that's very important. And I think that's also why you're so successful with your networking. And I think, I share a lot of that same philosophy. I think some people go and they think, I don't really want to be here. I'm just going to give people cards and then the business is going to come to me. Like if we build it, they will come. And it's not the way things work.
No.
And it's also really not the way you want to conduct yourself. I mean, it is all about building the relationships and having partners and having referrals, that you can make for people with trusted community of people that you've met through networking and who become friends and all of that. So,
I feel that I really am strategic in the events that I go to. I don't do, even though I have a product, I don't like to do vending events, and it doesn't work for me. I don't really build my clientele that way.
Yeah.
If I do something, I have to make sure that there's 200 plus people in attendance. Otherwise, it's not worth my time or money.
Do you get asked all the time to come like to a event and bring free cupcakes and that kind of thing?
All the time.
So how do you funnel through that? How do you decide which ones you will, are willing to bring free cupcakes to that are worth your time and that might be beneficial for your business, and which ones aren't? Or do you just not do it at all?
I try not to do it at all.
Okay.
I have a board of people, which is really 3 other people, and I love to give back to my community. That is one of my, it's part of my mission. It's who I am as a person. So I have a charity a month that I will focus on.
Okay.
And so I will give to them. People submit a request. I say, thank you very much. I have 5 already on the books, or, you're my only one this month. I try to weigh it out, and I give it to other people so I'm not the one making the decision, because it's uncomfortable for me to say no.
Okay.
I'm working on saying no. It's hard to say no.
It's a process,
Oh my gosh, it's hard to say no. But again, if it's something that I had planned on going to anyway, and I know it is a new crowd, then I might offer to bring cupcakes.
Okay.
If I'm invited somewhere socially and someone asks me to bring cupcakes, then I understand where our friendship is.
Okay. Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I try not to bring cupcakes to a personal social event. If it's work, if it's business, if it's networking, and it's something that people haven't had a chance to taste my stuff, I'm happy to bring a few dozen.
Yeah.
But if you're going to invite me over to your house for dinner and you ask me to bring cupcakes, I might be a little bit bothered.
Right. I can see that. Yeah. I can definitely see that.
You wouldn't ask, the shoe guy to bring you a new pair of boots.
Right. Right.
So.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. So let's talk about your business itself. So, I looked a little bit at your LinkedIn profile and saw some things that you were involved in before this.
My LinkedIn needs so much work. Oh my gosh.
That's probably a whole other show.
It is.
Yeah. But you got started in this still fairly recently.
Yeah.
What kind of made you decide, okay, I'm going to start a cupcake business?
So it's funny. I have a sales, marketing, advertising background. I lived in New York. I worked at an ad agency. It was a small little boutique place. And so that is my background. But I was the cupcake mom. I was the cupcake mom.
Right.
I wanted to be involved with my daughter's school. I wanted to know who her teachers were. I wanted to see who her friends were. It was a little bit sneaky on my part, but I really enjoyed it. So I started doing the cupcake thing, and I found myself no longer married and in Cherry Hill and wanting to help my daughter transition and help myself transition.
Okay.
And on the side, I was making crazy flavors, like crazy combinations, like lavender and honey, or matcha green tea and chocolate chip, just crazy flavors. And my friends kept saying, you really should sell those. I'm like, you're crazy. Nobody's going to buy these. No, you really should sell those.
Right.
So someone talked me into entering a contest where it was like pick your favorite food vendor, and there was another cupcake place, and I was completely intimidated because they had been on Cupcake Wars.
Okay.
And there were caterers there, and there were like chain places. You guys call them hoagies, but I call them submarines.
Okay.
But it was a submarine sandwichy kind of place. And all of these, I think there were like 35 other food vendors. And my first time out the gate, I walked in with 500 mini margarita cupcakes. It was a lot of tequila, I might have had a shot before I went because
Okay.
I was
Nervous?
so nervous. I called my girlfriend and said, I can't do this. And she said, no, you're going to do this. You're going to be okay. Just do this. And I won. And there were caterers there. They asked for my card. I got some business. It was eye-opening, and it was
Wow.
exhilarating.
Yeah.
And it was fun meeting all those people.
Yeah.
So one thing led to another.
So that was when you thought, I think I can do this as a business.
I think I have something here.
Yeah.
People want boozy cupcakes.
Yeah. Well, who wouldn't want a boozy cupcake?
I know,
Yeah.
who wouldn't?
Yeah. So now at that event, I'm curious, did you have cards to give out?
Oh my, I made my cards on my little Mac.
Okay.
That was ancient.
But you had something to give out.
I absolutely had
Because
something.
I encounter this a lot, and and I can see what your thoughts are on it, because you did have something to give out. I think
Yeah.
some people who feel like, I'm just getting started with a business idea, or I'm in transition, you meet them at an event and they say, well, I'm between jobs, or I'm just starting out and I don't have cards made, I don't have anything to give you. And I think that's a real problem,
No, I think you have to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Do not let people know that you are insecure, unprepared,
Right.
all of those things, because how do they trust you to move forward in your business?
Right.
They're not going to become your clients because they don't think you're going to be here next week.
Yeah. No, it's a really good point. Yeah, and I just wanted to emphasize that because it always surprises me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, fake it till you make it. I made those 500 mini cupcakes, and I was in it to win it, and I actually did. So
Yeah.
that was the beginning.
So how long have you been in business?
It was 3 years in August.
Okay.
I can't believe it. It's been an amazing journey. But
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. And, I know it was before we got on air, but we were talking about some of the other television success you've had. Do you want to talk about that a little?
It's so crazy to me to put these words together to make a sentence that says something like, I'm going to be on Dr. Oz again tomorrow, or I've been on The Chew and it was so much fun. I've been in some publications, some local newspapers and magazines, and I mean, it's crazy when someone says, can I interview you? It's
Yeah.
like, really? Me? I feel like I'm still the cupcake mom sometimes, but I am having so much more fun doing this.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure, does your LinkedIn profile say that you are the cupcake queen? Am I right?
Well, I am the cupcake
I know,
queen.
I feel you are. I'm just asking. Yeah.
I am. I have my crown, but I didn't want to take away from your gorgeous necklace.
Aw.
But yes, I am the cupcake queen.
Yes, I love that. I mean, sometimes you get on LinkedIn and people have very generic, kind of boring titles in your profile, but you really can't miss the cupcake queen. I mean, it's, yeah.
Look, if I can't have fun doing what I'm doing, then I shouldn't be doing it.
Right, right.
And I think it's the same for whatever it is, whatever your business is. If you don't have passion for it, if you're not enjoying it, if you don't think, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky today, I get to do what I love,
yeah.
then perhaps you should look for something else,
Yeah.
especially if you're an entrepreneur.
So this seems like a good transition to my next question, which, I was looking at your website and it says, the secret ingredient is love. So tell us about that.
It's true. So my mom was a pastry chef.
Okay.
She had, my parents opened up a French restaurant, and I was much younger than my siblings, and I spent a lot of time with my mom, and she shared things with me, and I didn't know that I was learning this stuff, but I was learning it anyway. And she always said, you have to cook with love. Mommy, why does this taste so good? Because the secret ingredient is love.
Right.
And so I think it really makes a difference. I think you can honestly taste
The care.
the care. You can.
Yeah.
I use really good ingredients. I take my time choosing, and while my flavors are crazy, I am mindful about the things that I mix and match and put together. So.
Do you do a lot of taste tests at home?
So, honestly, I don't, because I
Okay.
don't love cupcakes.
Really?
Now my secret is out.
Oh my
no!
gosh, that's shocking.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But if you showed up at my house with an apple pie,
Yeah.
I would be your best friend.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And not ice cream and apple pie.
Just
because-
apple pie.
Yeah, because the ice cream takes away from
You're
the
a
apple pie.
purist.
I
Yeah.
am a purist.
Got it. Okay.
Um,
What about your daughter? Does she benefit from the
Yes.
tastings of the cupcakes? Yeah.
And so do her
Yeah.
girlfriends.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So you're the popular mom then. Yeah.
I am the popular mom.
Yeah.
I'm still the cupcake mom.
Right.
I do sometimes have tastings with some of my friends just to make sure that I'm on track with flavor combinations and
Yeah.
crazy ideas that I have. And so I have people that keep me in line.
Yeah. No, that's good. So, there's a lot of good cupcake places around. I'm sure others that you enjoy besides your own. How do you think that how do you set yourself apart as a cupcake business from some of the other ones that are out there?
So there are a lot of really good cupcake places out there. I am friendly with some of them. I refer sometimes. I don't believe in competition. I think there's plenty of cupcake love to go around.
Right.
That being said, of course I think mine are the best. I think what sets my business apart is the care and attention that I give to my clients.
Okay.
So when I have people come to me and say, my daughter is getting married and I just want to do a little something nice for her and her fiance. I'm like, you know what? Let's do something really great. What is her favorite color? Where did they meet? There's a story to every reason why someone orders a cupcake. It's not just a party.
The cupcake,
It
right.
really isn't about the cupcake. There's really a bigger picture, and I'm allowed to be a part of that celebration, and I want it to be special for them.
Yeah.
People take pictures of these things. It's crazy, but they smash them in each other's faces, or they, cut them. It is a part of their memories, and so it needs to be something special.
I love the idea that you kind of uncover the story. It's probably the first time I've heard that from somebody that has a direct product like a cupcake, but I think that makes it really special. Yeah.
It does, and that's part of the cupcake love. I spoke with a woman yesterday whose husband was in the hospital, and while he's been home for 2 weeks, she really wants to thank those nurses. And so we talked about, she shared with me, because if you ask somebody, they will share their story.
Yeah.
And she shared with me her husband's recovery and how lovely the nurses were, not just to her husband, but to her. And so, there's always a story, and cupcakes are an emotional connection to a celebration.
Yeah, no, I love it. So you mentioned pictures. I'm curious now. How much do you use Instagram? Is that a big part of your business?
It is huge.
Yeah.
It is huge. And even if I don't have pictures of my cupcakes, just to have that presence. And let me tell you, it is all about the hashtag.
Yes.
And
so what are some that you use? Do you have branded hashtags? Do you have ones that you use for your business regularly?
I use Sweet Success and Cupcake Love all the time.
Okay.
But it depends upon what the cupcake is, what the holiday is, and who I'm trying to reach.
Okay.
So if it's in the middle of the summer and I know everybody's down the shore, I will hashtag Jersey Shore.
Okay.
Because people are sitting on the beach and they're dreaming about cupcakes and margaritas and Cabana Boys. I don't know. Or that's just me.
Hashtag Cabana Boy. Right.
I have hashtag.
You've done that?
Honey, it is all about the Cabana
it.
Boy. I'm still single, but I'm going to keep hashtagging that Cabana Boy.
I love it.
But it is really, it's about my product. Sometimes it's about me. Sometimes it's about the people enjoying it. I'm really strategic in the way that I promote my product. And, I have that background, so I can be a little more...
That's helpful.
It is helpful. I can be a little more mindful about it. I'm always shocked when photographers like my Instagram pictures. Like, really? Because you're big and I'm using my iPhone.
Right. Right. But you do take great pictures, I have to say.
I do. I try. I try.
So tell us about what's in front of us. What are these cupcakes?
So today, because I do get to know my clients, I know that you and your hubby do enjoy bourbon. And as a girl from Louisville, Kentucky, I too enjoy my bourbon. So the cake is actually a vanilla buttermilk cake.
Okay.
So it's a little more sturdy to stand up against the bourbon, because bourbon can be a little pushy.
Okay.
So they're topped with, these are salted caramel.
Yum. Oh my God, my husband's going to die for that. Yeah.
So it's a bourbon, well, there's two. So it's a bourbon frosting with salted caramel.
Okay.
And then this is the bourbon frosting with just some simple sugars and a little chocolate sixlet.
Yum. I feel very, very lucky today.
You are loved. You are getting cupcake
feeling
love.
the love. Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you so much for bringing them, and I'm glad people get to look at these beautiful cupcakes. Yeah. So, I was looking at your website, and you have really fun names for your cupcakes. Like most websites you go to, people are like, we offer red velvet, we have vanilla, we have chocolate. Some of the ones that I saw on the website that I love was Who You Callin' Short, and then you have one called The Lover. So, so tell us about those. I'm just like, how do you come up with these names? Like,
Look, I'm an entrepreneur. I work by myself. I spend most of my time alone. Sometimes I even change shoes and get out of my bunny slippers. I have to entertain myself. I am not tall. I might be vertically challenged.
Yeah.
God stopped when, she got to perfection. Just joking.
Yeah.
So I have to entertain myself. So who you call in short is really strawberry shortcake. Right. Strawberry shortcake is delicious.
Absolutely.
But it's not very catchy.
Right.
So.
But who you call in short is very catchy.
Who you call in short.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's the lover? What is that made up of?
Well, it's all the things that we love. It's chocolate, and it's ooey gooey, and it's yummy, and it's nice to share with someone.
Very nice. Yeah, I think that just adds a certain something when you go into your website and you see all these like fun, creative names that make you laugh, or you see a name and you think, what is that, and what are the ingredients? I need to know. Look,
if you can't have fun in your business, like I said this before, you
shouldn't be doing it.
Shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go sharpen pencils.
So tell me about, deciding to open the business was part of your reason for becoming an entrepreneur, the fact that you wanted more flexibility in your life as opposed to the jobs you had previous to that. Yeah.
So previously I'd spent a lot of time working in nonprofit.
Okay.
My desire was to save the world and change the world and make the world a better place.
But you're doing that through cupcakes.
Well, I am. It's so crazy. I can save the world one cupcake at a time.
Right.
I was working with, most recently I was working with at-risk youth, and I loved them. I loved these kids from Camden. They needed hugs, and I loved giving them hugs. It was not a good fit for me in that position in the office. I'm still friendly with the woman who was my boss because we understood it wasn't a good fit. I just wanted to save the world. And so I get to make the world a little bit happier.
Yeah.
I do try to give back. I think it's really important. It keeps me grounded. I try to really model what I want my daughter to become.
Mm-hmm.
She's 13. She's going to do whatever she wants. This I know. But
that's so important.
I think it's important.
Yeah.
I like to give back. It helps me feel connected. Look, it's not bad for business either, but I still get to save the world one cupcake at a time. I'm a hero.
And you also make a lot of like personal deliveries, and I can imagine how much fun that is because sometimes you're probably going into like boring workplaces, and then you come in and you're like, hey, I'm Ruth and I have cupcakes. It must just like brighten people's day. Like you must just see people light up.
It's so funny. So I delivered once to a salon in South Jersey, and it's sort of a fancy pants salon, very highfalutin. And I walked in, and you would have thought these gorgeous young girls were starving to death because they were like, are they for me? They're for everybody, but here's the person I'm supposed to deliver to, so back off.
Right.
But it was hysterical. It's really, people are very happy to see cupcakes.
Yes.
It's why I encourage some of my clients to give them as gifts.
Yes.
Because it helps you get past the gatekeeper. People are happy to see you again when you come back. It's not that pencils, stress balls, Post-its, mugs. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Sure.
It's not that those things are not used again and again, and it is a great way to get your brand out there. But people will remember the cupcakes.
Absolutely.
And so I try to brand them. I try to make it an extension of whatever that company is. They're branding the colors, certain flavors,
You give it a lot of thought, which I think is really good.
I do give it a lot of thought.
Yeah. So what about, a big success or failure that you've been through? Either one that you want to discuss.
Oh, I've had so much of both. I think for me, and I'm really not saying this, but being here with you, like somebody really being interested in what I do is so crazy fabulous to me. I feel very blessed to have this opportunity to talk about my business. I had my own radio show that was really fun and exciting. I got to interview some of my biggest idols, food people.
Yeah. Are you still doing that? I could see you being really good at that. Yeah.
I'm not, but never say never.
Okay.
And some of my failures are that I have, look, failure I think is not a good word because perhaps it's just a learning lesson.
Right.
I try to not look at it.
Yeah.
It's a curveball. I try to get something out of everything I do.
Yeah.
I learned that your standard bridal show is not for me. I love brides. I love, but bridal shows are not a good fit for my business.
Okay.
Because it's not an intimate situation where people can sit down and have a tasting.
Yeah.
So
it's very.
That was something I learned pretty early on. Stay away from the big fancy bridal shows.
Okay.
That being said, I'm doing a really crazy, wacky one in January that will have fire eaters and burlesque dancers, and it's very off kilter. And so
That's
I'm
amazing.
Pretty excited about being accepted into that. So.
Wow, very cool. So what about a personal goal that you might have? You know, we're coming to the end of 2015. Yes. Something that's not related to your business, either a personal goal or something on your bucket list, or both.
So I have a huge fear of heights.
Okay.
Huge. And last October, my daughter held my hand the whole way as I walked from Lambertville to New Hope.
Okay.
It's a little bridge.
Right, I know the bridge.
But for me, it was huge. So a girlfriend of mine asked me not too long ago if I ever thought of walking across the Ben Franklin. And I said, "Are you crazy? No way!" And I've been thinking about it more and more. And I think I might
try to do that.
I might try to do that.
Okay.
Because I think that you have to really conquer your fears, just in life.
Yeah. Yeah. You could do it as a fundraiser.
I could do it as a fundraiser. Yeah. I love that. I love the way you think.
I'm thinking like, everybody who knows you and knows you're afraid of heights, or even people that don't know you, when you tell them you're trying to overcome a fear and a challenge in your own life, it'd be great. They'd say, of course, I'll support you, and then find a cause you care about. I think it'd be great.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
I love that. You can help me build a fundraiser.
I will, absolutely.
We'll take it to new heights. Get it?
I get it. I'll come with you. I'll go across the bridge. I'm not afraid of heights.
So. Awesome. You will have to hold my hand.
So we're getting into the month of November, not far away, and obviously the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, all that, Kwanzaa. What do you have coming up that we should know about as far as like holiday specials or special flavors that are coming up?
Well, while everybody else is focused on pumpkin, and I do love pumpkin, I am a girl from the South, and I do love my sweet potato anything.
Okay.
So I do a lot of pies for the holidays. I have a large gluten-free clientele.
Okay.
And so for the holidays, for the November holidays, I should specify, I do a lot of gluten-free.
Okay.
Pies. That's just...
I didn't even know you made pies. I just
I
thought you
do because I'm cupcakes and not
cupcakes and more.
Cupcakes and more. If you go onto my Instagram, you'll see a hashtag that says more than just cupcakes.
Oh, interesting.
That?
Okay.
Yes, it's a little thing in there. But I do a lot of sweet potato flavors: sweet potato and chocolate, sweet potato and bourbon.
Yum.
A curried sweet potato, which is a really delicious cupcake with a hot chocolate frosting.
Yum. Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, these are some of the most popular that I do. So the salted caramel is always popular, and salted caramel goes with everything.
Right.
It's good alone or on a cupcake.
Yeah.
So those are some of the flavors, and I do a lot of biscotti for Christmas breakfast.
Okay.
So biscotti and scones, pistachios, cranberries,
I would
orange.
assume that the holidays is probably one of your busier times of year, right? Yeah.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
So I encourage people
to order
early to ensure delivery. Because if you call me the night before and say, "Do you have?" that's when I practice saying no.
Right. That's a good time to practice no.
Good time to practice no.
And not really think about it. So we're nearing the end, so I wanted you to let people know anything that you might have coming up, and I definitely want you to mention the Cupcake Nation and how people can get in touch with you.
Well, Cupcake Nation is, they're all the fabulous people that support me. It started out with my friends, and then because of the power of social media, their friends, grows. Their friends and their friends' friends and all of that good stuff. So that's my Cupcake Nation. You can find me everywhere. I am on all platforms of social media.
How can people reach you directly if they want to order cupcakes?
They can visit my website to order standard, but they're not standard because who are you calling short?
Right.
But you can go onto my website and place an order, and cupcakes will magically appear. But if you have a special event or something special. If you said your husband's birthday was coming up and I'm like, oh, I just tried this new bourbon, we have to make cupcakes with it, then I would have you call me directly.
Okay.
All the information is on my website, or you can find me on social media. I don't know what I can name and what I can't name, so I don't want to say those brands, but everywhere
obviously
you go.
Instagram. Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
I have lots of folks that follow me on Pinterest. One of the things that I do for my clients when they do have an event is I create a board just for them.
Okay.
We share ideas, and it's really, that's how I use Pinterest for my business.
Wonderful.
And, you know, call me and cupcakes magically appear. How fabulous is that?
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you coming and
telling
us all about the cupcake love and bringing cupcakes, and we're so happy to have you.
Thank you so much. I loved being here. It was great.
Awesome. Until next time, thanks for watching.